Welcome back to the Day Show. I'm Jeffrey. I'm doing rock history and history. For rock history, I'm doing the Rolling Stones. Now, they're a British band that was formed in 1962. They got the name from a Muddy Waters song called Rolling Stone, and they've that's where Mick Jagger and Keith Richards both got their start from, and initially one of the other guys was their main songwriter. Then Mick Jagger and Keith Richards both took over, and they're still pretty big, and they've been very influential on many in rock in general, and but now on to regular history. I am doing the French Revolution. What caused the French Revolution was France was at the time was a monarchy, and the King Louis XVI was basically ineffective as a ruler, and there were a lot of financial problems, and people just got mad at him. And there's also the Enlightenment movement, and so people revolted, and there were a lot of governments in between. There was Robespierre, the Directory. Eventually, Napoleon Bonaparte took power, and he was basically effective. He did a lot of political reforms, a lot of government reforms, as well as military reforms, and he was able to effectively use the military to expand an empire. And now on to Spencer for the movie reviews.
Hi, I'm Spencer, and this is my movie review. Over the spring break, I went off and saw Rango, and I highly recommend it. It's a great film for both young and old. And but the movie I'm going to review today is a film that had, though, a major impact on Rango, along with practically almost every other Western that ever came out. And that is Sergio Corbucci's Django, starring Franco Nero. Django is a spaghetti Western, which are Westerns that were made by Italian studios. And they're usually a lot more edgier at the time than other Westerns, like the American ones. So, but Django, anyhow, the story is basically Django is a gun runner that ends up walking into pretty much an almost complete ghost town because a former Confederate major has basically taken over the town and is basically slaughtering anyone who doesn't pay him basically tax. Well, after first taking out his almost all of the major's forces, Django then proceeds to get up with some old friends of his, and they end up robbing him. And then later on, there's a big double cross in the end, and things don't look too good for him, and he may not get his revenge that he wanted. And I highly recommend this film. It's really good. It just came out on Blu-ray not too long ago, and you can get it for like $16 like on Amazon. That's like a killer deal, folks, for a Blu-ray. And yes, about this time, you have kind of guessed it by now, I am a super movie nerd, so nerd alert. So sorry if I go a little obscure sometimes. Well, anyhow, enjoy watching the movies.
Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for joining us for this interview with our good friend John Leidy, who's a former MLC graduate. John, thanks for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
John, how did you hear about MLC?
Well, I heard about it from one of my mom's family friends.
John, what was your favorite class when you were a student at MLC?
So my favorite class was vocational and transportation.
If you could be any U.S. president, who would it be and why?
So who would it be and why?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Would you like us to come back to that one?
Or let's come back to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come back.
If you could help any country around the world, who would you choose to help the most and why?
As I would help Japan because there's a lot of damage there, and so hopefully it will be back to normal.
Yeah, we all hope.
That's right.
What is the Lightly Lecture Series?
It's the Lady Lecture Series. It's a series about a person who gives a speak about, and it talks about because my mom and my dad donated money to MLC.
John, if you could join up with an organization such as Feed My Starving Children, Habitat for Humanity, World Vision, the Humane Society, or Toys for Tots, which organization would you choose to become a part of and why?
I would become a part of Humane Society, so we could do it to rescue dogs or cats who are lost.
They definitely need our help.
That's right.
When you were growing up, what movie scared you the most and why?
So I thought the movie Alien scared me, because I didn't realize, because I thought, since I really thought it was supposed to be real, but I know it's not really, since I know it's all fake too.
Yeah.
John, if you had to choose between working with smelly animals and smelly dumping companies, who would you choose to work with and why?
All right. So what was the question about smelly animals
Or smelly dumping companies
So I would do like smelling animals.
and why?
So it would help them. So I could help them so they have food to survive.
If you had the chance to work with any famous actor in a movie, who would you want to work with and why?
So I would like to work with Johnny Depp.
Nice.
John, if you could be a character from The Lord of the Rings, who would you choose to be and why?
I would choose to be Frodo.
If you could be one of the Muppets, who would you choose to be?
Kermit the Frog.
John, what types of jobs does Miss T have you do in the main office at MLC?
So then she has me do like called data entry, which I type on computer. And she also has me do like copies at sometimes.
Who inspired you the most when you were growing up?
So like,
Who was a role model to you when you were growing up?
that's my brother.
John, what are 3 things you would try and do to help make the world a better place?
I would try to hopefully make the world so hopefully the economy can move faster so people can have jobs and not many people won't get laid off.
Do you have any words of wisdom for the class of 2011?
And hopefully words of house, hopefully that means Haiti. Hopefully it means there will be a lot more food for Haiti. And there will be more money sooner than later.
John, do you have any words of wisdom for the class of 2011, the graduating class of MLC this year?
2011. So how about let's say they would do like a block party at the school like they did last year.
John, during your time as an MLC student, what was your favorite mandatory fun activity?
So like going to the Swarm game.
You're doing question 17.
What was the funniest thing that happened at MLC when you were a student?
Funniest thing? I thought the funniest thing is like when we did the lock-in like the first year, and it was really funny that they did the MLC Fear Factor.
Nice.
John, which staff member influenced you the most during your time at MLC?
Let's see, trying to think. So inspired, like as let's say Heather and Serene.
Okay.
What are the differences between MLC and GLC?
Because for GLC, I mean, the activities are optional. It means they're not mandatory. It means they could do the activities if they do or they don't want to.
Okay. And we're going to come back to that question about the president, John. If you could be any, or you can ask it.
If you could be any U.S. president, who would it be and why?
So it would be Barack Obama. And he also did it so that would be nice that everybody deserves power from a different race.
John, thanks for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us for another exciting episode of MLC Today Show. I'm Ricky.
I'm Madison.
I'm John.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Dominic.
I'm Joanne.
I'm Tom.
You
Stay classy, MLC.